When people talk about healing the inner child, they usually picture one small wounded part that needs comfort, but that's not accurate. The inner child isn't one thing. It's a cluster of early nervous system patterns that formed before you had power, language, or choice. When you overreact, shut down, cling, rage, dissociate, overperform, or inflate, that's not your fully integrated adult. That's a child state running your body. And there are different expressions. There's the innocent child who is open, trusting, and assumes safety. Beautiful when integrated, but when in shadow it becomes denial or magical thinking, trust without discernment. There's the wounded child who carries unmet needs and attachment ruptures. When healthy, it allows grief and vulnerability. When in shadow, it becomes hypervigilance, clinging, emotional flashbacks. This intensity doesn't automatically mean truth. It often means old memory. Then there's the abandoned child, who expects rejection and detaches first. When healthy, it gives you real independence. When in shadow, it becomes emotional shutdown and I don't need anyone. That's not strength, that's protection. There's the parentified child who grew up too early, who took care of adults. When healthy, it becomes leadership and competence. When in shadow, it's overfunctioning and contempt for weakness. The high achiever, who also experiences burnout and is secretly terrified to need. There's the playful child who brings joy and spontaneity. When in shadow, it becomes impulsive and avoidant. Real play requires safety, and impulsivity is dysregulation. The creative child imagines, builds, and sees patterns. When in shadow, it dissociates, living in vision but not in the body. And finally, there's the divine child, the archetype of renewal, the part that believes in sacred potential and rebirth. When healthy, the divine child is post-traumatic growth. When in shadow, it becomes a messiah complex or inflated destiny story. But here's the truth most people miss. The problem isn't the child. The problem is absence of the adult self. If any one of these parts runs unchecked, your life gets chaotic in that direction. Healing is not about endlessly soothing the child. It's about building an adult self strong enough to contain all of them. You don't heal the wounded child so you can stay small. You heal it so you can take adult risks without collapsing. You don't reclaim the divine child so you can feel special. You ground it so potential becomes disciplined reality. Integration looks like this. You can feel abandonment without chasing. You can feel anger without exploding. You can feel inspiration without dissociating. And you can feel potential without inflating. That's coherence. The inner child isn't your identity. It's early wiring. Your task isn't to live inside it. It's just ingredients. Your task is now to grow large enough to hold it and make something of it, to lead.